here? Do you want to move? I said, no, let's just sit here. And when I said that, as clearly as I'm speaking, a voice spoke to me and said, this is the man you were writing about this week. I called Lee Black, or actually we met the next Tuesday to write again. I walked in and I said, Lee, we've got to rewrite that first verse. And of course, the usher had asked him to leave. I said, let's write it the way it should be. And by the way, I shook hands and was friendly with the guy at church after the Lord convicted me. And so the first verse of this song and the chorus, if you don't mind me telling you, he saw those around him move as he sat down, as the music softly played Amazing Grace. Last night's fall off the wagon left bruises on his face. He felt a hand on his shoulder, thought he'd hear, come back when you're sober. But instead, a friendly voice said, we're glad you're here. Welcome to the First Church of Mercy, where the doors of love swing open wide. No matter who you are, no matter where you've been, you can come inside. Welcome to the altar of forgiveness, where the fallen can fall and tears are wiped away. Welcome to the First Church of Mercy. Have a seat on the front row of grace.
That's where the great songs come from.
If we don't write songs that touch our hearts, we will not write songs that touch their hearts. If we don't write songs that make them cry or make ourselves cry, there will be no tears in the audiences within the next few years. Mm-hmm. In the same way, when I'm writing my fun songs, if I'm not laughing as I'm writing it, they're not going to laugh.
Yeah.
And so if I give joy to myself, I give it to others. If I bring inspiration to myself, I bring inspiration to others.
Mm-hmm. Well, Aaron, it's always great to see you, and we think of songs like 4 Days Late and What a Beautiful Day, and it's so nice to hear, so inspiring to hear that your heart is still in it.
I will not vote no if God says you've got 20 more years or 30 or whatever. But whether it's 5 or 50 more years, I'm on the leaving side. And that means I'm closer. And that means my heart needs to be closer. Mm-hmm. And I think what we need I've started writing a song yesterday, and it's called I'm waiting for the world to change, and they're waiting to see the change in me. Mm-hmm. I think we're living in a time where I do not take as strong a stand as I need to take. I think I have friends and family and a lot of peers that we're not standing as strong in the truth that we believe as we should. And there's a world that's watching, and they don't do what we tell them they ought to do. They do what they see truth in. Mm-hmm. And anyway, I'm sorry, I started another sermon. And I promise if I come to your church, I won't preach unless you ask me to. And I'll take up 2 offerings, one for humor and one for the serious. No, I'm kidding.
Well, that's a good deal. That's 2 for 1. That's
2 for 1.
That's pretty good.
I just thought of that. I think God gave that to me.
Very good. Aaron, it's always great to see you.
Pleasure to
We
be
want to
here.
thank you for being on Gospel Music today.
Thank you and Jean so much for what y'all do. Thank you. Thank you.
In this month's edition of Singing News Magazine, the cover story is about the Dixie Echoes and their celebration of 60 years of Southern gospel. Dale Shelnut was hired in 1963, and the current lineup includes his son and grandson, Randy Shelnut Sr. and Jr. In the article, there's a great history of the group and a bright future ahead. You can find a link to Singing News Magazine at our website, gospelmusictoday.com.
This is a concert update from Gospel Music Today. Lowesville Gospel Concerts presents Glory Way Quartet on November 14 in Stanley, North Carolina. You can find all the details at the Gospel Music Today website.
Today, our Southern Gospel History Spotlight shines on the Lefevres. The original Lefevre trio consisted of siblings Urias, Alphas, and Maud Lefevre from Smithville, Tennessee. The group first sang country music, but soon switched exclusively to gospel. In 1934, Urias married Eva Mae Whittington, a daughter of a Church of God minister. Eva Mae's father helped the group advance by scheduling them to sing at revival meetings. The Lefevres secured sponsorships from New Grape and Orange Crush. They were sometimes billed as the Suncrest Trio. By 1959, the children of Eva Mae and Urias were old enough to start joining the group. Pierce, Maurice, Andrea, and Mylon Lefevre performed in various configurations. During the 1960s, the Lefevres performed on the Gospel Singing Caravan television show. Alphas and Urias retired in the 1970s, and management duties were transferred to Rex Nealon. When Eva Mae left in 1977, the Lefevre name was retired and the group became known as the Rex Nealon Singers. Eva Mae appeared at the Grand Ole Gospel Reunion and on the Gaither Homecoming video series until her death in 2009. You can learn more about the Lefevres and other great groups at sghistory.com. I'm David Bruce Murray, editor of sghistory.com, bringing you this page from the past on Gospel Music Today.
Greg Sullivan has a new CD called I Know He Can. It was produced by Ricky Atkinson, and it opens with This Ship Was Made to Sail, and the song Beginning Again is currently out for radio release. Other songs on the CD are Child of Light and Masterpiece. My favorite is I'll See You at the House. That's I Know He Can by Greg Sullivan. Next on Gospel Music Today, we'll go to the archives and hear our friends, the Freemans. It is now time for the archives.
You are correct. This is from a few years ago in Springdale, Arkansas. We heard one of our favorite groups, the Freemans, that night, and that exclusive video is up next on Gospel Music Today.
Brand new song. Come on, y'all. Yeah. It takes water to quench the thirst of man. It takes love to fill the void of a lonely grave. It takes breath in a body if life is sustained. And it still takes the blood for a soul to be saved. Search, but you'll only find one salvation's plan. Calvary was God's design to reach fallen man. I believe it was there on that rugged cross the price was paid. And it still takes the blood for a soul to be saved.
It takes sunlight and rain for flower to grow. It takes the wind to move the storm clouds away. It takes a smile to melt a heart that has grown so cold. I I believe this. Oh, and it still takes the blood for a soul to be saved. Come on now.
Search, but you'll only find when salvation's plain. Calvary was God's design to reach fallen man. It was there on that rugged cross, the price was paid.
Oh my, hallelujah.
And it still takes the blood for a soul to be saved.
Tell him now.
And it still takes the blood for a soul to be saved.
You believe that tonight?
There is power.
There is power.
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 Wonder-working power. And it still takes the blood for a soul to be saved. And it still takes the blood for a soul to be saved.
We always enjoy the Freemans. We look forward to seeing them, a true family group, and we really like the Freemans. We are out of time for this week's edition of Gospel Music Today.
And we thank you for spending the last 30 minutes with us. If you know someone who likes Southern gospel music and doesn't know about our show, please tell them about it.
Good advice.
And we'll see you next week on Gospel Music Today.